Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV, the Champions Podcast. We have finally done it. We are in front of the camera as champions, as winners. Hey, I can't believe it. Has it sunk in yet for you lot? Because for me, Keg, it really hasn't, to be honest with you.
No, neither. I was saying before, I think I said it last week, when I'm sure we've all won multiple things, probably everything that there is, like Premier League, Champions League, on FIFA career mode with Newcastle, St. James's, the confetti, the black and white. You're thinking, yeah, imagine. No, it's not realistic, really, though, is it? It's probably never going to happen. And then, obviously, it's not Premier League or Champions League, but we've won something. Our 70-year void of domestic cup success is gone. 3 days since our last trophy. We're the most recently decorated team in England. So yeah, enjoy it.
It didn't look right, the black and white ribbons on a trophy.
Nah,
I'd
really
never seen it before.
It was like watching FIFA.
It was.
It's still mad to think that, like deep down, I know that it happened, but was it real though? Like, was it FIFA? Like,
Was it all a dream?
Yeah, am I gonna start like me next season, like next year? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, it's weird, man.
It feels like when the new images keep coming out, and I've watched the game back a few times now, it's like it's AI.
It is.
It's like it's photoshopped. Like it is like a FIFA story, that though. Like
It
Dan
is,
Burn being the one to score and Dan Burn lifting the
Someone
trophy.
wrote the script there, like,
And
that was too perfect. Like, this whole week has been far too perfect, especially for the likes of Dan Burn. Joelinton as well had a mammoth performance, like such a turnaround in his career. Like, it's like someone's wrote it. That's why it doesn't feel real. Like, it's too perfect. Burn, Joelinton, smashing it. It's just mad. It's just, like I say, it doesn't yet feel real. Like, it doesn't, like, there's a lot of good AIs going around these days. So even now, what's real, what's not. You see an image and like, is that real? Is it AI? It really just doesn't feel realistic.
No.
It's mad, isn't it?
It is mad. And is any other fans out there watching the live show, just let us know when it does sink in. Lifting the trophy, because I'm yet to know.
Yeah.
Because it really hasn't. And then the whole weekend there, we were just talking about it, like, just an absolute blur.
Yeah.
A blur of emotions, a blur of events.
I can't even remember watching it.
I've watched it back twice, me. I've watched it back twice. I watched Sky on their YouTube have put up a full hour of the post-match interviews on the pitch with Howe, Joelinton, Burn, seeing the fans, the whole lap of honour again, going up to the box and collecting the trophy. And it's just mental, man. It really is mental.
It is.
Like on last week's podcast, predicted that would do it. Predicted the 2-1 Isak. But it wasn't, it just still wasn't like the full belief in it because we've never done it before.
No.
It wasn't the feeling that it was happening because you just thought, oh, well, it's Liverpool. Oh, well, it's Newcastle at Wembley. We know what normally happens.
Yeah, it was going to be a repeat of 2 years ago. Probably going to lose 2-0, just the same as the last 3 cup finals at Wembley. Arsenal FA Cup 98, Man United FA Cup 99, Man United Carabao Cup 23. All 2-0s. We're coming up against probably arguably the best team in the world at the minute. So, well, that form wouldn't suggest so. Like, they haven't really been too well in the last few games, but but still, like, it's Liverpool. Well, about 16 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Like, we did go into that as underdogs, and with our recent history, even playing good teams like Liverpool at Anfield and City at the Etihad, like we just don't have a good track record playing good teams. We haven't got a good track record at Wembley, cup finals. So yeah, like I was trying to remain optimistic. I did predict 2-1 in the podcast last week for a Newcastle win, which was my optimistic prediction. Like with me head, I genuinely didn't actually believe that. Like, I really felt we would lose that game. But credit to Eddie Howe and the game plan, because we're absolutely bossed it. Like, to every single player that didn't turn up 2 years ago, like, we were shite 2 years ago. It's like, I think with Pope missing the game and Carrier starting, just the whole belief just drained. And it's like, first cup final in 25 years at the time, something like that. It was like, yeah, just it felt like going into this game, like, we didn't really feel up for it. Like, I think during the commentary in the game, like Gary Neville said, like, this is around about the point where things went tits up. Basically, last year it was around about the 32nd minute mark. I think we conceded like the 32nd and the 38th or 39th or something, like 2 goals in quite quick succession. And it just felt like when that first goal went in, that was it. Like we just had no belief. Second one went in quite quickly, and that was game over. Like there was absolutely no chance of getting back in that game second half. But then we just kept plugging away. Like that 30-minute mark passed, the 40-minute mark passed, and we still played really well. Like I think it was a relatively even game. I think we were just edging it. I think we were the better team up to that point. But then, big Dan Burn, that glorious header from about 13 yards out, bottom bins, power, bush, proper giraffe neck, stitch that you can't. Like it was such a goal, and I think poetically, once you knew Dan Burn scored that goal with his England call up, that was game over for me. We were winning that game, no question.
I started crying at that point because I think a bit of me also thought that. I thought, this really is going to be our day.
Winning this, yeah, we're winning this.
And I was very nervous still at half time a bit because Liverpool have been a second half team this season.
Yeah.
They are notoriously slow starters. On that slot, that he seems to change something, tweak something, say something at half time, and then they come out and have better second halves than they do first halves.
Mm-hmm.
But I still just thought, this fairy tale doesn't end yet. Yeah, it doesn't end with
at all.
Burn scoring and it getting nowhere.
And we're losing it.
I just thought, honestly, man, and it couldn't have been different from that final you just mentioned 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Literally so contrasting, where from the minute go, just Joelinton getting stuck in, us celebrating things again dead early, bit of that sort of PSG feeling at home, and we'll smash them. It's just even Bruno during the moment when he comes out, and you could just see how much he was up for it, and you could see how much everyone wanted it, and it was honestly perfect. You could say it wasn't because of Chiesa scoring late on, but even then, Newcastle aren't going to do things easy, as Warren Barton said beforehand to our box part. It's not going to be easy, but it actually was. It was easy, and even when they scored the goal in added time, for the last 4 or 5 minutes after that, we just managed the game so well.
Yeah,
the experience there, the dark arts, a bit of time wasting, a bit of strength, out battling them. Everything was just perfect.
It was. That was a little element of me that thought like it's a deep goal. This seemingly consolation, maybe it's a comeback. Like there's not a lot of time left, but like that kind of Newcastle's history, kind of Newcastle being Newcastle. I was thinking, we're gonna bottle this, aren't we? This is gonna end up with penalties, this or something. But is it like we didn't shit the bed with it? Like we just like done what we'd done all game. We were cool, composed, passed it around, defended well, didn't let them get into that sniff. Really, like that was it. Like that was like. Did they have many chances? Really?
I only remember Curtis Jones shot and talk. That's the only one I remember. Yeah, that's the only save Pope made.
Yeah,
and it was a really, really important save at such a. Because at that time of the game, if they score then with 20 minutes to go or something, that might give them a lift.
Yeah.
Maybe they just thought, it's a bit too late now when Keita scored.
Yeah, it was.
Even though you were maybe expecting a bit of an onslaught, a bit of like just push everyone forward. But when Pope makes that save, you just think, wow, this is it. Like, because what a strong right hand that is from Pope, pushed it over the bar. And he did what, he was quiet the game, but he was still switched on enough for that moment to keep it out. And you got to remember now, Newcastle. I was watching the game back again the day. Newcastle should have made it 3. To be fair, when Barnes squares it at Isak, and then the Kelleher does make a point blank save, but Harvey Barnes did get into some good areas, and he probably should have shot, but he did try and do the right thing, I guess, and put it on a plate, but maybe not much confidence since he hasn't played much football of late. But I think, these players where there was question marks over, like, who do we play? Pope or Dubravka? Who's going to play? Is it going to be Barnes, like for Gordon? Or is it going to be Joelinton or Williker?
Yeah.
But, every single man was I was so proud because it was like everyone realised how much it meant.
Yeah.
They really did grasp exactly what this meant and how much we needed to win.
Absolutely. Like, it was just the perfect game plan for Eddie Howe. And like I did say last week that I feel like in hindsight, like, I felt that losing to Man United 2 years ago was a good thing.
I think you're right.
Like, I think that gave with that drive and the motivation. Took it a bit seriously. Like when we got to the final last year, it was like, we've got our first final, and like it almost felt like we'd already won it. And then like that kind of hiccup with like the Pope and Karius thing just really did like kind of suck the energy out a little bit. But it just did feel like we went into that game with no confidence, and it's just a lack of experience. Like a lot of people like hadn't played in a final before, and like it was just a bit of a different team. But now, like I think for especially those that played like Bruno and Trippier, Joelinton, like those that had suffered that defeat, like they weren't losing that. No. Absolutely no chance. They weren't going back to Wembley and losing twice in a row.
Nah. I think Trippier was so good.
He was.
I was saying to him after the game, like, it was obviously you don't want Howe to get injured and miss out, but I genuinely think it worked out better in a sense where Trippier's leadership on the right, obviously Tino on the left, got the assist for Isak. Yeah. Well, got the assist, the cross in from Murphy to head down to Isak. But I just think that the balance of the team, the leadership, the experience there, because obviously we know how young Lewis Hall is, how brilliant he is, but how young he is, I think Trippier starting was the right choice. Even if a Hall was fit, I just
experience, leadership. It's like the Arsenal game. Yeah, it was an absolute pure shithouse.
Yeah,
and there was an element of that in the game, and he was holding the shithousery around a little bit, but it was just like he's a winner. He's won a La Liga, for God's sake. Like, some people have won some stuff. He's won a La Liga. Like, he knows the score. Years of experience, captain, leadership. He's played in the Champions League final before. Like, been there, done it, worn the t-shirt. Like, yeah, like his level of experience really came out in that game, and he was massive. He was really influential for it. Well, like mentioning Tino there. So last week we did have that discussion of who's going to start in place of Hall. Is it going to be Tino on the left, or maybe it's Burn or Target, or Trippier's going to go over there? And I mentioned maybe it's the concern of Tino's kind of lack of confidence in his left foot. Like, because I think it was mentioned, I think Keith Downey tweeted about it during the West Ham game, saying it's a bit of a concern. Like Tino's not that confident. He's always looking to cut in, but that ball, left foot down the flank, first time left foot, bosh, backstick, Murphy. What a left foot cross from a right footed fullback, and lack of confidence. Had a way in shite. That was absolutely unbelievable.
More mind games, man. Just didn't want to let it off. I like that about what I only seen that today. That Howe was saying, he did keep his powder dry in that game a couple weeks ago at Anfield. Didn't play Isak. He says he played a completely different style on purpose because he didn't want to give anything away to Arnie Slot. Do you know what I mean? How smart is that? Not giving them an ounce of clue of how we're going to play, how we're going to go about it, what team to play. He had Gordon in the bloody 10, didn't he, at Anfield?
Yeah.
So Wilson floating about as well. And, he says obviously he was still trying to win the game. But just giving nothing away. And I think that preparation and the mentioned Baines header that they spent the last 2 weeks on set pieces and Trippier's delivery for that cross as well, man, from the corner for Baines header is so good, man.
And Gary Neville mentioned in commentary that we're taking Van Dijk and Canate out of the game.
Yeah.
Just by keeping them kind of plugged into the 6-yard box, but putting deep balls in and Burn it being at the back stick or just outside, where he scored from 13 yards out. Taking their big aerial threats out of the game, their big centre-backs, great centre-back partnership, eliminated them. So smart, man. Game plan was absolutely perfect.
And you know what? Nick Pope came flying out at one point early on.
He did,
They were offside anyways, but he did well. Timed it well. And it was a big performance from Pope because he'd been getting a bit of stick, a bit of doubters because, he hadn't looked the best and Dubravka was doing better. Howe went with Pope. I mean, he would have got absolutely hounded out if Pope had a stick on that game.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was risky because I did predict Dubravka to start last week when we were doing my lineup prediction.
And he has been harshly treated, I suppose, there, hasn't he, Dubravka?
Yeah, he has.
In terms of the run that he went on when Pope was injured.
Yeah, but you've just got to do what's best for the team. And I felt that Dubravka was what was best for the team. Eddie Howe thought it was Nick Pope. And to be fair, done his job, got the win. So can't complain with any part of his lineup, his tactics or anything. It was just absolutely spot on.
And I got laughed at on DR Sports for saying that Newcastle had the best midfield in the Premier League.
Why would anyone laugh at that?
Because they don't watch Newcastle and they don't understand.
Yeah, disagree if you may. Think it's Liverpool or City or Arsenal. But they need to laugh at it. Do you know how good these are?
No, they don't.
Clearly not.
Maybe they do now after Sunday.
If you're laughing at that, you do not know football. Like I said, disagree, fine. If you think it's another one, absolutely fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But don't fucking laugh at that.
No. But now there won't be because they would have seen on Sunday. Oh, actually, Liverpool's midfield three's been getting all the plaudits all season. Oh, Gravenberch, amazing. Szoboszlai, the engine on him. McAllister, World Cup winner. It was the same on Saturday Social on Sky Sports. I could barely get a Newcastle player. I did manage to get 3 or 4 in, but I was making a point we have got the better midfield. And I actually would have Burn over Canate or Botman over Canate. And they were like, oh, what? Gakpo even got in ahead of Gordon. Crazy stuff, man. It's always the same because we're not the big 6. We're not the traditional top 6. No one will notice or realise until it comes in. It is a myth now. The part of the Big Six is apparently Man United and Spurs are in the bottom half.
A battle in relegation.
It's the bottom six. They're in the bottom six, not the Big Six.
It's hardly the Big Six when bloody only half of them are in the top three.
Yeah, exactly. Chelsea don't even want the current manager they've got. So
Chelsea aren't in the top three. City's not in the top three. Man United and Spurs are battling relegation. This Big Six thing's an absolute horseshit. That isn't such a thing.
It's gone now. It's not like 2005 anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's gone now.
Put some respect on not just Newcastle, but Villa.
Yeah.
And Brighton.
Forest. Bournemouth.
Big Six bullshit doesn't exist anymore.
No.
If it ever did, I think it was a bit of a myth regardless.
Created by the mainstream, Yeah, I agree. But I'm telling you, that midfield proves its worth tenfold on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Sandro Tonali, man. Again, we can all talk about Dan Burn, obviously the week he's having, the season he's having, but let's just think about Sandro. And this time last year, he couldn't kick a ball.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? This time last year, he was sitting at home, struggling, everything he was going through, and then now he's came back, being unbelievable from minute go. Remember the first round of this cup competition, the Carabao away at Forest, he's been sick because he's running
that was his first game
running his heart out.
Yeah. I was surprised he even played that game, to be fair. I thought that was a bit risky from Eddie Howe. I thought him on the bench, maybe there's a little bit of run out. He needs minutes. He needs minutes in his legs, a bit of a slow recall. I was like, Dad's getting starting 11.
Get him in. But what a run that was, you know what I mean? From being sick in the first round to lifting the trophy in the final.
Incredible. Absolutely.
Sandro, Joelinton. And I was saying to Joelinton the other night, I was just so pleased for him because he was laughing. He was taking the piss saying, I need to dye my hair blonde back. And I was like, Joe, I didn't bring up the Rochdale away, But I was saying,
there you go. It's in the past that.
Yeah, I will forgive you. But it was a mention of how far he's came. That's what I love about this. There is so many of those. We've talked Bale, we've just mentioned Tony. Joelinton's another one. From if you could have said 5 years ago, head in hands, failing, flopping as a striker. Now he's one of the best, toughest midfielders in Europe, lifting a trophy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. I seen a post before saying has he had the biggest glow up in the Premier League?
Absolutely.
Even in Premier League history. You think of there's been a lot of flops if you go back Chelsea, spunking money right, left, and centre back in the day. They had some stinkers, but how many started as stinkers? Really, really shambolic. Let's be honest. Joelinton was bullshit. But I never blamed Joelinton. It was never his problem. He shouldn't have been in that situation. To be fair, did they not even sign him before Brucey got there? Because he spoke about that in an interview a couple of months ago. And that wasn't Mike Ashley signing. I think that deal was already agreed before Brucey even signed.
But remember Brucey meeting him in his interview.
Yeah.
In the change rooms and all that.
Yeah, it was never Joelinton's fault. He shouldn't have been put in that situation that he was in. Club record signing, number 9 shirt, lone striker, something that he'd never ever done in his career. Didn't play to his strengths. And just to be put into that situation was absolutely shambolic. But certain people get played out of position and you just got to rise to it. You got to do the best that you can. If you're put into a bad situation, just do the best you can. And he didn't really, live up to us. £40 million flop. And that was like that for about 2.5, nearly 3 years. And my goodness, to obviously full Brazil international now, one of the best box-to-box midfielders, shithouse, strong in the tackle, I couldn't wish for a better midfield.
Me too.
The balance of it is
perfect.
So good. It's just, when Joelinton's missing, you do really miss him. His physicality, winning the ball back. I can't remember who it was. What was it? Kwanzaa or someone like that. I can't remember. He was on the right hand side and he just got his body in between him and the ball. And then ended up winning the free kick because he ended up getting himself pulled over. And he's celebrating it. It's oh my God, I love this guy.
I loved it.
So good, man.
I loved it when in the second half, obviously. Or was it the first half? And whichever one in front of the Liverpool fans, he started celebrating when he knocked it out for a throw in front of their fans. Thinking for because obviously he does it at St. James. He's
was loving it,
everyone. Look what I've just did. I've just knocked him in. And then he's just doing it in front of all the Scousers, and they're piss off, man.
It was just amazing.
The best thing about Joelinton is when he's the soundest, calmest bloke off the pitch.
He does seem like
I was talking to him, it's you'd never think he was the absolute animal he is on the pitch.
I wouldn't like to face him.
Oh man, definitely not.
If there's a bunch of players in the Premier League that I would not like to face, especially in a midfield battle or something, it would be Joelinton.
It would 100% be him. 100%, aye.
It'd be going back to kind of Keens and Vieiras and all them people that you just do not want to come face to face with. But even if when you say like Roy Keane, I'll probably punch in the face, and like Vieira's really like big and physical, but like Joelinton's like physicality, I just feel like it's different
level.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to come up against like his body. Like if I'm trying to like if he's like coming into attack on me, I'd probably like bottle it. I'd jump out the way. I'd be like, do you want the bandage, Joe? Anyways, there you go.
There you go, Joe.
Don't hurt us.
Got me car keys and all. House keys, I'll buy you dinner. Whatever you want, mate. What you want? The midfield, brilliant. We mentioned Barnes and obviously Isak. He was having a bit of a quiet game, but this is Isak where it really doesn't matter. And it's similar to Erling Haaland, where Isak's actually a lot more involved in games than Haaland, but he's world class, and he is world class. And again, I got laughed at for saying that a year ago. Who's laughing now?
Absolutely not.
Who's laughing now?
Well, everyone else is starting to agree. Like no one else can really deny that he's a world class.
I'm not being big-headed. I knew he's world class, and a lot of Newcastle fans will, because guess what? We're watching week in, week out.
Yeah, of course.
But these mainstream media who see 2 minute clips and think, he's all right.
Typically sucking off Ireland.
Aye, but then they see him now and they're like, actually, he's world class.
Hey, you know him with like 25 goals this season. He's not a bad striker.
He's not like, but the finish is just wonderful, man. And he make everything. He makes it look so easy.
It was like
that's not an easy finish.
No, yeah, because the way like the ball came down to him from Murphy's head, like it was quick, and it was just like a quick like reaction. Like it was just like so like reactionary, but like to like divert it into the corner. Like it was quick. It was accurate. It was like a lot of like it was kind of like on like the half volley sort of thing as it bounced. Like it was
swiveling in the corner.
Great underrated technique. Like it was a brilliant goal. After he was bumped over one, like just like 60 seconds beforehand, like,
to keep your head up as well.
Yeah,
because you could have been, oh man,
that was me. That was me being wiped off there, right? Shame that.
Kept his head up, took his chance, took his moment, and he told me he wasn't leaving afterwards, Keg. Yeah. So I hope he's telling the truth.
I'm leaving
because ever since that whistle's blown, we're hearing he's going to be in talks with Liverpool. Slot wants to make him the #1 target now.
Of course he does.
All this sort of stuff. Do you think we'll jump the gun a little bit here? But do you think that this obviously gives us a better chance now of keeping players? Do you think it'll make a difference?
Yeah, I do. Like they've got a medal around their neck now. They've got something to show from their time at Newcastle, which could work. On the other hand, like all right, well, we said we want to win something. Now we have. Maybe it's like now like explore a different venture. Nah, I think it'll be motivation because this is just the start. Like this is just the first of many, and. Obviously, we're guaranteed at least Conference League in Europe now, so we've bagged Europe.
We'll talk about that soon,
and we've bagged a medal. So why would I leave now? Like this is just the beginning. Like all we've said since the takeover is that we need to get this void written off. It doesn't matter which competition it is. We said, we'll probably get into this topic in a bit now, but it's only the Carabao Cup. It's a less important medal than the FA Cup, than the Premier League, probably any other European medal. And this is why everyone's calling it the Fizzy Pop Cup. Fuck off. But it's a huge honour. It's a major honour. It's taken our 70-year void of major silverware away. It's like that Band-Aid thing. Like, we just need one. Mm-hmm. We've got that one. Mm-hmm. The rest will come raining in now over the next, 5-10 years. We'll be looking back on this again. Remember how we're absolutely buzzing that we won the Carabao Cup? Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully we'll be laughing at this again while we're so buzzing that we won the Carabao Cup.
But when we lift the Champions League, we'll be like, the bloody Carabao.
This is just the start. Like, why would players want to leave now?
Do you think that it'll ever feel as good as this? I got asked this on BBC. Will it ever feel as good as this? Because I actually agreed, saying I don't think it will. It'll come close when it is that really major trophy of a Premier League or a Champions League. They're like obviously next level, but an FA Cup or this,
the FA Cup is
it's like
I don't know,
because it's 70 years of hate, man, isn't it?
That is why it's probably going to be one of the best ones. Like if it's the Champions League, obviously that's different. Premier League, that's different. Like the FA Cup is a better, more prestigious competition to win. But yeah, obviously if we win that, we'll be absolutely buzzing. But yeah, like this is just obviously the first one in our lifetimes, like in many people's lifetimes, some people's dads' lifetimes, like anyone between the age of newborn to 70 haven't seen Newcastle win a domestic cup. Like 70? You could be in your fucking 60s and you've never seen us win a cup.
Man.
Like we're in our 30s and we're absolutely devastated that it's taken us up until this point. Imagine being 60. Like it's just insane. Like literally how long people have had to wait to have this moment. It's just mental. So yeah, it's special. And like you've seen the tears, like I've never seen so many grown men in tears, and like, but more for the reason like it's not just emotional that Newcastle's won this, but like for like a lot of people that's like lost people that never got to experience it. Some people's dads, some people's granddads, loved ones, friends, brothers, whatever. Like some people never got to see Newcastle win a cup.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so emotional, and that's why this will probably never be beaten again.
Eddie Howe even said that in the presser afterwards. He said, he was thinking of his mum when he won that, because he's thinking like how proud he was of achieving that and things like that. And I've had some lovely comments on my video. There was one yesterday where they mentioned, they lost their son last year and stuff, and they were crying, thinking like they wish they were there and stuff. It's unbelievable, man. It's really, really emotional, and we are an emotional fan base. I think we are we are the best fans in the world. I think we love our club and city more than anybody else does in the world. I genuinely believe that. And I do think it has been so many tears because we aren't used to it. We didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
they were uncontrollable. When Dan Burn scored at half time, I was like, holy shit. Like, it was uncontrollable. Like wrapping that scarf around my eyes, like just wiping the tears away. It was just something else, man. And I do think that there may be a few tears shed again if we did win. But it's going to be nothing on the scale of that, because hopefully it's not another 70 bloody years.
Jesus Christ.
We're not sitting on this
couch for us,
100 years old, like, FA Cup on the
back 2025 when we won the Carabao Cup.
Surely not.
I think the year's 2095 when Newcastle still won out.
We're getting laughed at for another 70-year wait. I think it's obviously such a huge achievement for us, and I think you're right where this is it now for us. I think this should be the springboard.
I've got to be.
Has to be the springboard in this one.
Even like, fuck 70 years. Imagine like 10 years. If we didn't win that in the next 10 years, like, what was this all for? Like, this is meant to be the springboard. This is meant to be the start. Like, we didn't just come all this way just to come this way.
I like it.
Yeah. We didn't come this far just to come this far.
Yeah.
Like, that's a quote that I live by. We didn't come this far just to get this far. Like, imagine, like, if we don't win anything for the last 10 years, what the fuck was the point in all this?
Yeah. It obviously still gave us one of the best years of our lives. It's still amazing. Yeah. But you do want it to be the thing that kicks us on, don't you?
Yeah,
Absolutely kicks us on, because we don't want to stop now, and we'll get up the Howe statue stuff soon. But it's like, you hope that this is just the beginning.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It has to be. It has to be like, you can't compare it to Man City because they could spend unlimited money.
Yeah,
but you can, in the sense that once they finally won their first trophy, it felt like that gave them the belief, and it will now. Because loads of lads will come up against Liverpool next season, be like, it's Liverpool beating last year. Wembley again? Yeah, well, they say we don't get back Wembley for another 2 years. 2 years time again, they'll be like, remember 2 years ago Wembley pissed it. So do the same again.
But it is like that confidence, because we were looking back at like the previous ones, and like my last 3 Wembley Cup finals over the past like 25 years have all ended in 2-0 defeats. So I was just thinking, maybe we're a little bit cursed, or maybe we're just not cut out for this kind of stuff. And like recently we have had bad records, especially away against like your Liverpools and Chelseas and Cities and stuff. But like now, like, what have we got to fear? Like, we need to be fearless from now on. Like, we need to get that kind of small club mentality out the back of our minds now. Like, we're now a major on our winner. So we're not a small club. Like, we need to kick on, and like next season, I want to win at Anfield. Or
an Etihad.
Either or Etihad, if both amazing. But we need to like stop being little bitches about this and like actually like go somewhere away and have that belief that we're gonna win this. Because you know what? We beat Liverpool at Wembley. What have we got? What have we got to be afraid of? You seen how we've done it, and we spoke about it last week. How did we win it? Because we went little bitches about it. We went for them. We absolutely went for them. Like
played our game.
Did, yeah. We played our game. We absolutely went for them. Whereas at the Etihad a couple of weeks ago, sat back. Let them win. Like, we can't do that anymore. Like, we're not that club anymore. We're not Steve Bruce's sit like 10 men behind the ball and let them come out. Where even Rafa kind of played that. Like, Rafa just like to sit back and counter attack, but actually done it quite well, unlike Steve Bruce. But yeah, like, we're not that team anymore. We're not a sit back and defend kind of team anymore. Like, we've got Isaks and Gordons and Brunos, like, who can actually like win games by the scruff of the neck. So why would we sit back and defend and let you absolutely pummel for 90 minutes?
That's what I want to see now, going forward and going into the summer, into the next season. That total shift of mentality from upstairs to on the pitch.
Yeah,
from the board.
Hopefully we'll qualify to at least Europa League, maybe Champions League.
Yeah,
and it's just different, man. Winners, European nights,
Because when we go to the Champions League, or if it's Europe or whatever, again, just like the valuable experience of getting beat off Man United, the valuable experience of getting knocked out those group stages.
Yeah, and
in the
we've
Champions
shoulders.
League.
We never embarrassed ourselves.
Nah, never.
We played
Nah.
absolutely. If anything, I can't believe we finished bottom of the group.
I know.
Like,
But you look at that,
believe how
look
we
at
done
that
it.
group. Obviously, we know we should have went through because we got robbed against PSG in the last minute with the penalty decision, the VAR, and all that nonsense. But you look at the one I was really frustrated at was obviously AC Milan missing chances and then loan. But even Dortmund at home at the time thought, oh, there's been beaten quite comfy there by Dortmund at home. But then Dortmund get the final.
Yeah,
So you can't really
true.
begrudge it. You know what I mean? Dortmund fully deserve to go all that way. So we'll learn from that. We'll talk about Europe in a minute. But just to finish things off on the cup success, you have to say that is the big thing we need to take from this now is just use it as a platform. Use it as a mentality shift, a belief that yet when we go to these places, we play our game and we compete and we change. Because we've seen against Man City at home, great record, really good record. We'll win or draw. We'll barely lose it, man. Against Man City at St. James Park. Liverpool would draw, we'll make a loss in the last minute or whatever. Man U, Spurs, we've won there this year. We've beat these top six clubs. Chelsea at home. And then again, Chelsea away this year, though.
Arsenal.
You know, we got beat off Chelsea away and then we beat them at home a few days later in the cup to get through. So Arsenal was a big shift, first win in 15 years at the Emirates. We'll see how we get on in the league towards the end of the season. But it's been an amazing weekend. Any other highlights for you, Craig, you can think of, or things you took away from the game? What I'll say where you think about that is I absolutely adored Bruno Guimaraes' interview pitch side after the final, like, because I watched it back in full today, and when he's crying, he's talking about Shearer messaging him, he's talking about being a hero, putting his name down in the history books, and shout out war flags is always what a great display that was. And he did it. 3 years later, he's done it, and he will forever be remembered. And he's absolutely class, man. And seeing that passion, it's so rare to find this. And this is why I'm laughing. And I mentioned it in my video yesterday, Craig. I don't know if you've seen it, where there's mock-ups of Bruno in a Man City shirt now. Pep Guardiola wants him to be the one to come in this summer. All that crap. And I'm thinking, no, man, it's not going to happen unless it's a ridiculous offer. It isn't going to happen because you've seen how much he loves Newcastle United.
Oh, yeah.
I've never... honestly, right, I actually think, not even just at Newcastle, but at other clubs, and I can't really speak for other clubs, I don't watch them that much.
Yeah.
But what I think of other Premier League teams, and definitely Newcastle, a foreigner, a lad from Brazil, understanding the culture, the city, the fan base, the badge as much as he does, I have never witnessed it. His passion is ridiculous.
It's not like he's just kind of developed it over time. Like, it just felt like he was invested from the minute he signed. Like, it didn't take him long to become accustomed to our culture and like proper got stuck in with the fans and even like learning like the slang. Like he said he didn't speak very good English when he came, but it was alright, to be fair. He spoke better English than Joelinton did, at least anyway. But like, yeah, both of their English has come across really well. But even like singing like "Tell Me Mammy Ma," things like that, like
You know what I mean?
proper, like Geordie little paraphrases. Like the pair of them are like, they should retire here. Like, they should never ever leave. Like, I think they've earned it. Like, whatever contract they want, however long the duration, 20-year contract, 200 grand a week is a neighbour. Sign it on the dotted line, son. Like, they absolutely deserve it. I don't want to see either of them be sold. Yeah, like, and yeah, that's going to be interesting. Bruno, hopefully, if he's ever sold, it'll be a few years down the line where he's cutting over the hill a little bit, and I would like him to go overseas. I do not want to see him in a City shirt or a Liverpool shirt or an Arsenal shirt or any of that shite. You can go to Barcelona, you can go to Real Madrid, you can go to whoever you like when you're 36 years old. I don't care.
You can do a look at Modric, can't Madrid when you're in your 30s, but please stay for the time being, Bruno, because he's just sensational, man. He really is.
Really, yeah, just great. And like, yeah, I do love how passionate he is, and like, yeah, he's done what he said, and I think this is just the start. Like, I don't think it's like he always said like, oh, he wants to put his name in the history books. I don't think he meant winning the Carabao Cup, but like I say, this is just the start. Like, that'll give him that motivation to think like, right, I've got one medal. Like, me time in Newcastle has been a success. I've got a medal. Where's the rest? Like, let's go get more.
I think that's what he's aiming for. I really hope he does see out at least another few years to try and win more trophies here and be that captain to spur us on, because that's what you want in the dressing room, man. That's what you need. And it was a bit where Bernie and Isak are doing an interview, and just as it starts, Bruno runs in and starts shouting, "He's from Blythe." You see it?
Things like that, yeah.
Like, how mad is that? Like,
Fucking
you understand?
Bruno Guimaraes from bloody wherever he is, from like bloody Rio de Janeiro, and like talking about Blythe. Absolutely class.
Honestly, when you look at that team, and obviously I was so lucky to be there when they were celebrating afterwards, I had even more respect for them than I already did, because every single one of them gets it. Every single one of them loves it. And obviously you can easily say that for your Bairns, your Longstaffs from the area. And shout out Elliot Anderson as well, by the way. Did you see him in the crowd? And Eddie Howe waving to him, brilliant. The Geordies are obviously going to understand, because they grew up just like us in the area, but for your Brunos from Brazil, your Isaks from Sweden, your Botmans from Holland, all the players from everywhere completely get it and know what it means. And it's I think we've got a really rare bunch of lads, to be honest with you.
You know what it is? I think we've just got a rare club.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to catch the bug. Like, many have done it before. Like, loads and loads of foreigners, or even like Southerners, like Scottish people.
Les Ferdinand, Gibbon, Ireland.
People have came and just absolutely fallen in love with us. And I think it's just because of who we are as a people, as a Geordie nation, as a Newcastle United fan base, Newcastle United as a club, the history, St James's Park. I think it's quite easy to fall in love. Like, it's one of them teams where you will kind of catch that. Whereas like, if you go to any London club, like take like West Ham or Crystal Palace or something, like, no disrespect to them teams, but like, are you really going to fall in love with that? Like, a lot of people go to London, a London club, because it's London. Like, a lot of people will be calling their agent from abroad. Oh, there's a team from London interested in your sound.
Me, my missus loves nice restaurants. She loves shopping centres.
Do you not want to know who it is? Oh, yeah, I suppose I'll ask that question. Oh, it's Crystal Palace. All right, so I've never heard of them in my life.
Where's that? Yeah, no worries.
No worries all day.
Still going to live in centre.
Yeah, but I think people will come to Newcastle, they might not even necessarily know where Newcastle is. Like, they might not know the history and stuff, but like, it's easy. Like, we're a working class, hard working city. We're great people. It's a great club with a great fan base. So I think as soon as like you step out onto the pitch at St James's Park, the Gallagher ends going crackers. Like, you just think, what the fuck have I walked into here?
Aye.
Like, it's gonna be so easy to fall in love with this club.
You're right. Like, actually, I think it's more of a us thing than anything else, because there is so many players, even players that came here on loan.
Loanees,
Salomon Rondon, and these foreign players, and we know Ben Arthur and Philip Albert. We met not so long ago, didn't we? And they still absolutely love this club, and they've went on and played for 10, 15 clubs all over the world.
And still come back.
And they all always just talk about us. Tino,
and who else last
they always just still talk about us. So they always adore us. And I think it's just because of how passionate we are. I really do.
And we show the love first. Like, anyone wearing donning the black and white, you're one of us now, boy.
Aye.
Like, it's not like we're waiting for you to impress us. Like, you're already one of us now. Like, take maybe like Anthony Gordon, for example. Like, I know I'm probably not on Muir where I say I fucking hated Anthony Gordon when he was at Everton. Like, he was one of the most dislikable players in the Premier League for me. He was a diving little shithouse, whinging little bitch. But once you got the black and white on, love you, son.
Hasn't he really matured though? Because you don't really see much of that from him anymore, do you?
Yeah, absolutely. But like, that's another thing. Like he was once a shithouse at Everton. Now he's our shithouse.
Aye.
Like,
but in a better way as well.
Yeah. Well, like, if you put on the black and white, you're already loved. If you work hard in the black and white, you're even more loved. And if you're great in the black and white and you're successful in the black and white, you're a legend. Yeah, like he's already a legend. He was like 23, 24 years old, not been here for too long. Got a medal, worked hard, great player, massive contracts, like, legend.
And every single one of those players are legends, man. Like, we'll finish off on the cup final stuff before we move on to other topics now by me just saying, like, well done to every single one of those players, the coaching staff, everyone behind the scenes at Newcastle United Football Club that have been there for years, been through dark times, tough times, relegation battles, championship days, all of that, to now is just unbelievable. And every one of them works so hard behind the scenes, at the club, at the training ground, on the pitch, off the pitch, and they're just a credit to this city now. Like, and they will literally go down in history as heroes, as legends.
Because it hasn't happened for far too long. Like, I can't even remember this, but I think Shearer was talking about it on the his podcast and said, like, the two in '98 when they lost to Arsenal, they had an open top bus parade.
He was embarrassed by it as well, though, when he said.
But like that's how passionate this fan base is. That's how much
Hundreds
we
of thousands of
absolutely love it.
people.
Hundreds and thousands of people to see a losing team.
Where else would you get that?
You literally wouldn't. Like to other fan base. Like, oh, can you imagine if social media existed back then? The
Oh, you get
absolute battering.
They probably will now. They'll bring up pictures of us in the 90s now.
Couldn't give a shit.
I'll be like, you did that.
Two shiners. But like that, it is just us. Like that fan base is.
I think
just
that's
amazing.
It's obviously mental from
How
our
much we
side
care.
that they turned out for a losing team. But again, it just shows how loyal and passionate they are.
That's what I mean. Like
It's a credit, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that, we're just that. That's what I mean. Like that, we're just that kind of team. Like we'll just embrace everyone and just want everyone to do well. And like that's like the point that I was alluding to there. Like you can lose a cup final and still be a legend here. We haven't been used to anything for 70 years. So of course, like it's not to say that nobody's been a legend here in the last 70 years. Like to be fair, look at the two most recent statues put outside St James's Park. Bobby Robson, Alan Shearer. What did they win at the club? Fuck all. Absolutely not. But Emil Crafts won more than Shearer did. You know what I mean?
Shearer, it was good to see Shearer was there, obviously, on the TVs at Wembley, and he was at the party afterwards as well, and he was there enjoying it and soaking it all in, and the crowd was giving it to Shearer, giving it to Deck as well. You know, seen it. But again, these teams that would love Sir Bobby and Shearer so much, because obviously they gave the role and they came close. Finals and good European runs and that, but never quite got it done.
Nights, yeah.
Never quite got it done, and then these lads did.
Yeah.
That is mad saying that, though, isn't it? Kraft. Oh, the CS Blacky Dimos has won more than Alan Shearer.
Sean Neve?
Sean Neve?
He got a medal.
What, lads? Pick him up. Well, I can't we actually see him, to be fair. He hasn't even played a minute, has he?
Nah, hasn't played a single minute, but got a cup winners medal.
Well done, mate. Well done. I hope he gets a chance before the season closes. I'm sure we'll see him in pre-season or something.
Even just a couple of minutes, just the last game of the season, 5 minutes off the bench again.
Home game against Everton. Bring him on. 3-0 up. Lovely stuff.
Score the fourth.
That'd be class. But what a weekend. What a surreal moment. It honestly hasn't sunk in for me yet. Any part of the weekend, to be honest,
it really
doesn't feel right. It's all a whirlwind. It's all
exhausted. I still feel like I'm on the weekend.
I still feel like I need to sleep for a week, man. I'm so tired. That pain's going to put me to sleep in 10 minutes.
Yeah, no.
So if I do actually start snoring on the podcast, I apologise, because I do feel like I'm just wiped out emotionally, physically,
Really,
everything.
absolutely everything.
Honestly, man. But
our emotions, like every single one of them this weekend has been felt.
But with every single second of it.
Yeah, 100%.
It really has been. What a weekend. Thank you, Newcastle United. One of the best days of our lives.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. Like we say, hopefully it's just the beginning, and it is the start of many, which we can touch on in other podcasts, I'm sure, throughout the rest of the season and in the summer, how we'll build on to bigger and better things. In the meantime, Keg, you briefly mentioned it earlier that we have qualified for the Europa Conference League through winning that Carabao Cup. That kind of went unnoticed, to be fair, because of all the celebrations. Who gives a shit about that? But actually, I won't say something else again about the whole party stuff. But the Conference League is decent. At least we have guaranteed European football now.
Night in Baku.
We will be there. But we've still got a great chance, obviously, of doing more than that.
Oh, yeah,
and I think the Carabao only gives we still have to win a knockout game, don't we? We actually don't get guaranteed a spot in that league table. I think you have to do a qualifier first, if I'm right. In the conference. Let us know in the chat. I'm sure that you have to do a qualifier in the middle of bloody Belarus or something. But listen, it's European football, but the position we're in the table, we win our next game. Obviously, we have that game in hand now. Man City due against Brighton on the weekend.
Chelsea lost,
I think, because I haven't watched any of that football.
I'm sure whatever happened worked out well for us. I'm sure.
I think so.
Chelsea lost and City drew.
Chelsea lost to Arsenal 1-0. City drew 2-2, I think.
Yeah, these weekend fixtures, I can't remember them.
I remember Andy driving back, and I was looking at my phone, it popped up like, reaction from such and such. I was like, Man U 3-0 against Leicester. What? When was that? And it was like after our game on Sunday night. And I was like, was it?
Oh, was it? Right.
And then again, all the other games on the Saturday were in Covent Garden and stuff. So didn't see a bit of it. Did see the league table because they showed that at the end of the cup final. where Newcastle lie. We will go fourth above Manchester City if we win against Brighton after the international break. So we're in a really good position, man, to get better than Conference League, aren't we?
Yeah. At least we've got that at least to fall back on.
Yeah.
But where goes back to Conference League? Is it 8th? Does 8th?
No, it's 7th, I think.
Yeah. So
because we should have got it in 7th last year,
that's
but
right.
Chelsea got it.
Yeah. So I can't see us finishing any lower than 7th. Like I know there's not a lot in even like the top 10 really between like 3rd and 10th. Like there's not a whole lot of points between them. So it's a really, really close like top half of the league. But if you look at our fixtures, I think we've got 10 games left. I think 7 of them are winnable.
Nice. Let's have a look at them.
Even a couple of the others, there's maybe a point in them, to be fair. So like I think we've got a pretty good end of season schedule. And now we've got this high. Like we're writing our own script here. If we can go on a little bit of a run.
How many is that on Google, by the way?
No,
if you type in NUFC, fixtures pop up and it says EFL champions. But yeah,
so what we got?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10 fixtures left. So, indeed.
Brentford at home, winnable. Leicester away, definite win.
Gotta win.
Man United at home, winnable.
Gotta win.
Palace at home, winnable.
Gotta win.
Villa away, tough but doable. Ipswich
we did it last
home,
year, I think.
Ipswich at home, nay bother. Brighton away is a tough one.
That's an half one.
That's got a draw written all over it.
At least.
Chelsea at home, doable.
Definitely.
Arsenal away, tough.
Doable now, though.
Everton at home, winnable.
Yeah. We could actually win.
Why can't we win every single one of them games?
We literally could. Well, Arsenal away, yes, we did it in the cup this year.
That's their toughest game. Chelsea at home's not easy.
They'll be out. They're already out the title race, so they'll have now to play for. So we could do Arsenal. Brighton would
away,
never seem to win there. Brighton and Villa are the odd ones.
At home, it always sounds tough, but realistically, we should be smashing them.
Oh, we'll smash them now.
Like why can't we have a really, really good run to kick off?
There's only 2 I'm worried about there, Villa and Brighton away.
Yeah.
Arsenal, I suppose.
5th could get with Champions League, and we're currently in pole position as opposed to leap ahead and finish, like be in the top 4. That's where you ultimately want to be. 4th's amazing. 5th is still Champions League worthy if things work out well. So yeah, we can quite easily finish in at least Europa League. Like I don't think we'll play Conference League. I think, like I say, we've got to finish at least 7th or lower. Like at least we've got that at least to fall back on. But I don't think there's a chance in hell we play Conference League. Not a chance in hell.
I don't either, to be honest with you. I think we'll at least secure Europa.
At least Europa League, yeah.
And I don't think it'll be a bad thing getting Europa now.
I'd quite look forward to it because I'd feel quite confident of winning it.
Same. We're not. Let's be honest.
Amazing. Champions League will be amazing, especially when you look at this new format. Like Villa's in the quarterfinal.
Fair play.
Like in a Conference League, I'd feel really, really confident. Like no disrespect to West Ham, but they won it.
Yeah.
But Europa League's a good competition. It's competitive. There's some great teams in it. But I really think we could at least go very, very far. Mm-hmm. Like final, semi-final, something like that, if we didn't win it. But, it is. It's winnable,
I'd actually, at the start of the season, we did pre-season predictions, said it would be our year, we'd win a trophy. I actually think we would win a European trophy next year if we don't get Champions League. If it was Europa or a conference, I think we'd win it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Conference, we've got, depending on who kind of falls, maybe, but we've got to be one of the top favourites. Even Europa League, I still think we'll be one of the favourites. Maybe top 5, maybe. I don't know. It would be amazing to win, to get Champions League. That's obviously ultimately where we want to be. There's a lot more money in it. If we can do what Villa's done and at least get to the knockout stages, great. But give me Europa League right here, right now. I'll take that off your neighbour.
Champions League will take a long time, I think, just because obviously
get competitive.
The pedigree of your Real Madrids, even teams that might, your Juventuses, your Milans, all of those sort of household names. They're they've been there, done it. You know what I mean? But if I just put in a Europa League there, the quarterfinals keg. Bode Glimt v Lazio. Lazio, historic club. Rangers Athletic Club. Lyon Man United. And Tottenham Frankfurt.
United and Tottenham are in the fucking relegation battle in the Premier League.
There would be if it wasn't such as bad bottom 3, aye?
Yeah, Bob Glint, nay bother. Lazio, tough. Rangers would beat. Bilbao, winnable.
Come on.
Frankfurt.
If you win a quarterfinal against any of those teams...
we got to be favourites to win that.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't even mind Europa League, mate, for the fact of
I'd love Europa
potentially securing a European trophy.
It'd be class.
Because it is going to be tough to finish above you know, your Man Cities and your Chelseas.
Quick look at the Conference League
Of course I can.
stage.
Let's have a look at the Conference League fixtures now. The quarterfinals that begin in a few weeks. Obviously, Chelsea's the main one that everyone's looking at. They're playing Legia Warsaw.
Chelsea's got to win that, man.
I don't even know how to pronounce this team. Djurgården.
Oh, Djurgården, yeah, they're Swedish.
Rapid Vienna.
And Legia Warsaw.
Fiorentina, they're always about. Real Betis, Anthony.
Who are Fiorentina playing? Cluj.
Celje.
What the fuck, Celje?
Exactly. Real Betis are playing Jagiellonia Bialystok.
Anyway. Like, Betis are a decent team, and like Chelsea's a decent team and all, but
Betis, Fiorentina.
oh my god!
But come on, like, yeah, you'd be careful.
Jesus
If Chelsea don't win that, that's an absolute disgrace.
Absolute disgrace. If it's not a
£1 billion players, and you kind of
Oh
beat
my
bloody who was it? Phil Jagielka or something?
Jagielka,
Jagielka United. Who the hell was that? Hey. But I honestly, I don't think Europa would be too bad. Apologies to Stephen, just missed his super chat, so we'll get on the screen. What a legend for sending 20 quid. Thank you very much, Stephen Dunn. Really appreciate it, mate. And he's got the message. Big Joe, the main man, worried about Bruno and Isak going. If Big Joe went, we'd be devastated. Unsung hero.
Absolutely.
Workhorse shithouse in one. The dip in form we had when he got injured in the FA Cup. Keep up the content, lads. Thanks very much, Stephen. He's right there. They only had that dip in form when he did get injured in the FA Cup.
He's a huge.
When he missed those few games, you seen how much of a miss he was. We're all saying, "Oh, mate, he'll do a job." Longstaff
there, workhorse shithouse.
It is.
That's it,
It's a good combination. A shit workhorse. He is. He is all of that in one. Absolute hero. And the talk about those Brunos or Isaks going there, but Joelinton's just an absolute anomaly in terms of a player you'd find these days.
The unsung hero in there? Have I just made that up? Yeah, unsung hero. Yeah,
which I don't
think really is.
Aye,
because I think I know.
I don't think you can find a player like him now.
I know people know about his glow up, and I know everyone knows that he's a good midfielder. He went from that £40 million flop to like a proper workhorse. But outside of the Newcastle fan base, do people actually really appreciate him?
Nah, the one that think he's
does anyone else give him his flowers?
Nah, definitely don't. Definitely don't.
I'd say it's a disgrace.
Good job, now.
I was going to say I'd say it's a disgrace, but
him.
that's fine. Like nowadays, that's another thing. What I love about Newcastle, and when you look at all these other like content creators and all the like slagging off that they've been doing, like sleep on with, please. I love it.
Yeah.
I love being the underdog. I love people like disrespecting our players and then we're going absolutely pumping you. Like, I've got no problem with that. I'm happy to. If you think our players are shit, great.
Yeah.
Mint.
You keep thinking that.
Keeps your eyes off with. Didn't worry. Didn't buy our players, but didn't want to sell them anyway.
Yeah.
If you think that, we're going to come into Newcastle, we're going to have an easy game because I've only got Joelinton on, £40 million, he's a load of shite. No worries, mate. Just come in, James, find it.
And if you keep on laughing at me, saying that we're not the best Premier League in midfield, fantastic.
Yeah,
Please don't agree with us.
Fine.
Because then everyone will start wanting to bid for Tonali and Joelinton as well.
Right.
So
watch with.
Thank you very much. Keep underrating Newcastle United and Eddie Howe, because Eddie Howe will always be, or so far anyway, has been disrespected in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Every show, every outlet I've done where I try and big him up, they just say, from Bournemouth? Even though he took Bournemouth from like
Is this 4 years ago?
the bottom of League Two, saved them from administration, promoted them to the Premier League, kept them up for 5 years, came to Newcastle, saved us from relegation, got us to the Champions League, and now he's won a trophy. The first English manager to do it since Harry Redknapp in 2008. So start putting respect on his name. And does he deserve a statue, Keg? Because that's the comments at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll touch on that in a second, but just to go back onto the point that you were making there about the job that he's done. Like, if we do go further and we win more FA Cup, Premier League, whatever, we'll start being a regular Champions League outfit with Eddie Howe, he goes up there as probably England's greatest ever manager.
Yes.
Because the successful ones have mostly been Scottish, like Fergie, Jock Stein, Matt Busby. A lot of like successful British managers have mostly been Scottish. Like, English managers haven't really had any success at all.
Because Keegan's and Sir Bobby and that, it's more.
So for the job that he's done, he goes up there with like your Brian Cloughs for me. because of like he done the same thing. Was it? It wasn't Leeds, was it? Was it Derby? Like, he took Derby from like
Yeah, he flopped it. Well, he didn't.
he
Well,
flopped
Leeds,
at
didn't
Leeds,
he?
yeah. So he took Derby from like low league all the way up to the top.
Forest,
Won Champions Leagues with Forest. Like the job Cloughy done was just ridiculous. And like Eddie Howe, when he got the Bournemouth job, all he had to do was stop them going into non-league. Like they were on the cusp of relegation from what's now League Two. I don't think it was back then, but like the bottom tier in the English football pyramid, they were down and out. No experience. About fucking, what was he, 32 years old or something like that? Had to just keep them in the league, will you? All right, no worries.
Yes.
Done it. Took them to the Premier League.
Him and Tyndall.
Absolutely sterling job.
Do you think if you build a statue, you have to have one of Tyndall next to him?
Of course you have. They come in too, don't they?
You do. You can't just have Eddie on his own, can you? You know what I mean?
Or at least like photobombing. Like, his face is just like on his shoulder.
On his shoulder, right? Just in the background, his nose like
Class.
peeking over.
But should you have a statue? It's early doors. Like I want, like obviously he's not going to get one now. I don't want him to have one until he retires or at least leaves the club for years down the line. Like not many people do. Like not many living, or not necessarily living, but like reigning people get their statues. They get it after they left. Like Bobby, like Shearer. Like if you go to like Thierry Henry's got one, Bergkamp's got one down at Arsenal. Like they didn't get them when they were playing. So Eddie Howe gets one when he leaves. So for me, we'll have this conversation when he leaves. What he wins, what he's going to achieve in the coming years, but also if he wins now in the coming years, he achieved more than Bobby did. He achieved more than Shearer did. So why not?
So I think he's just guaranteed one at some point, regardless of what happens.
Maybe,
next.
but like he's got to keep going on it. Like, and I know this is on the itinerary and all, but like talking about criticisms from various people, but people like laughing at the concept of Eddie Howe because we won the Carabao Cup. But it's not that we won the Carabao Cup; it's that we won something.
Yeah,
we won our first. Like that's for us means the world. It doesn't matter if it was the Carabao Cup or the Champions League. We took a 70-year void of major silverware. And he was the one that done it. He was the one that achieved anything. Like if you look around other statues and stuff, there's probably people less deserving that's got one in other clubs. But like not to say that Bobby Robson didn't deserve one, but he didn't win out. Eddie Howe did. So why not?
I hope that he obviously kicks on, as we've mentioned during the podcast, and it's not the first and only trophy that he gets. I mean, hopefully in 10 years' time, he's got a few trophies, and you know, it is we can make a statue with a few him holding a few trophies. Do you know what I mean? How good would that be if you just, or a few trophies like along the bottom of the statue or whatever? Like, I agree. I don't think you should do one now. Like some people are saying, right, build your statue. He's done it.
Yeah, not right now.
I want it built now.
That's premature.
Done by the summer. No, because I don't think he'd want that either. You know, he's really
humble guy,
humble bloke, quiet. You know, he doesn't want to be in the limelight type of thing. So I think it's a great way to honour him.
Yeah, and for like how experienced he is, for all that he has achieved, pretty much gone through every single league from League Two, League One, Championship, Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cup winner. He's still so young.
So young.
He's got so much experience on his young shoulders. But like take how old's fucking Roy Hodgson? Like 74 or something like that.
Oh, at least
And how old? About 44. So he's still got at least about 30 years of a career to go. And if he's still like that, like he's still got at least 30 years of a career to go. If he goes on to his old, I think Fergie retired when he was in it about 70, 71. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's still got so much of his career ahead of him. And whether it's success with Newcastle or touch wood, he doesn't go anywhere else, but he can have success elsewhere. He could have success with England. You never know what his future holds. But like this is just still like, although he's got at least like 10 years into his career, he's still got to be 30 years left. He's got so much more to give.
Yeah, he's 47. I just checked there. So now in manager terms, man. Yeah. Now in manager terms.
Really young.
He should have a statue at Bournemouth, to be fair, shouldn't he?
Absolutely.
What he did there.
Absolutely.
Maybe again, it's why they wait until people retire, don't they?
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever seen is when Man City, you've done it really there, when they've give like David Silva a statue and that. Normally they'd wait. Company. things out, you know. But normally you're right where they. No, exactly. You're right where they give statues to people who have unfortunately passed away or obviously well into retirement. To be fair, but surely Howe will get that statue in the future, but not just yet. And hopefully there's a lot more accolades to come.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the more that he wins, the more that he deserves one.
Do we waste time talking about what Paul Scholes said?
Can breeze over it. I already kind of brought it up. So just laughing at the concept of Eddie Howe getting a statue.
I think it's so distasteful. I mean, like, it's just
really, really out of touch.
Really out of touch.
You just don't understand.
You're just sitting there on a sofa like this, just laughing because you played for one of the greatest sides in history and you won trebles and that, brilliant, mate. But that's quite unique, to be honest with you, Paul.
Yeah,
so
you
doing that and then not being able to relate to Newcastle winning the trophy in 70 years.
Oh, you won the Carabao Cup.
It's pathetic. You won the fucking League Cup, man. But it was our first trophy for 70 years.
That's not the point.
And you're kind of disregarding when he said that everyone tries to get knocked out of that competition. Is he mad?
No, they don't.
We played Arsenal in the semi-final, played the strongest team. We played Liverpool in the final, played their strongest team. Who's trying to get knocked out there?
Yeah.
We played Chelsea, played their strongest team.
I had a look at this because, like,
absolute fucking idiot.
With everyone talking about it being like a fizzy pop league and like nobody like taking it seriously, people want to get eliminated. I was just having a look over recent years.
All the winners are like the serious,
literally
top four.
I think around about 10 to 15 years ago, it did kind of lose its touch a little bit. Like
when Swansea won it,
2004, Middlesbrough beat Bolton. Wigan played Man United in 2006. Birmingham beat Arsenal in 2001. 2011. Cardiff got to the final, got beat on pens by Liverpool in 2012. 2013, Swansea won the League Cup by beating League Two Bradford City. And 2014, fucking Sunderland got there. That's mad. But then
who just didn't get beat off Man City?
City, aye. So then after that, so City won their first League Cup post takeover in 2014. And from there, Chelsea beat Spurs. City went on a four-season winning streak. First beating Liverpool. Oh, no, they didn't. Then it was Man United beat Southampton. Then it was City beat Arsenal. City beat Chelsea.
City won it 4 years in a row, isn't it?
City beat Villa. City beat Tottenham. And then it was...
all big teams.
Then it was Liverpool, Chelsea. Man United, Newcastle. Liverpool, Chelsea. Again, Liverpool, Newcastle. Name me it's not full of your Bournemouths or your Crystal Palaces or your West Hams or Brentfords or it's Liverpool, it's Man City, it's Chelsea, it's Arsenal. People don't care about it. Yeah. Pep Guardiola won it 4 years in a row, but that's just something, isn't it?
Was Scholes not like loving the achievement by Ten Hag 2 years ago when they knocked us out when they won the final? When Man U lifted it 2 years ago, no. So just nonsense, man. Absolute bollocks.
It really was a very immature and insensitive comment. Yeah, really out of touch, like really unnecessary. Like, oh yeah, like laughing at a club. Like I know the sentiment of Eddie Howe getting a statue right now. Like, yeah, to a lot of people will be laughable, but yeah, it was just fucking ridiculous.
It was like, and there's been plenty of other YouTubers and mongs out there who try to play down the achievement, but you just didn't understand, and you're probably just all glory seekers, so you're used to winning things.
Adam McCullough, he's a pipe ending.
Stuck in the past, mate. You can pipe up now about Newcastle. Now True Joy's not paying his wages.
Yeah.
Before that, do you know what I mean? Before that, he was, Newcastle, great club. When True Joy was sitting there paying him every month. Now he can just say what he wants.
Yeah.
Sausage. Glory seeking sausage. Kind of standard bloke, me. I haven't got a fucking clue what he's talking about.
No.
Let's move on then. Trophy Parade. Trophy Parade's coming up, Keg. 29th of March. Put that in your diaries. Saturday, the 29th of March. There is some reports coming out this afternoon. The Telegraph have said that Newcastle are looking at Town Moor as a party festival type thing to celebrate the Carabao Cup. Not a bus parade. They're saying that instead of a bus parade, they're looking at doing a trophy celebration there on the Town Moor. Obviously, 100,000 people could go there like they do for the Hoppins every June, and they could have a stage there like Man City have done when they bring the players on, and Grealish is getting pissed. We could have whoever else taking his place. Get some acts on stage, get the crowd going, all that sort of stuff. That's going to be a bit mental, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be very stinky.
It's going to be very wild, very busy,
great.
very chaotic.
Yeah, so they did announce the open top bus parade, but then now there's like the talks. So, like, nothing's really been announced yet, but there is talks of maybe a town war party festival type thing. Which
we're waiting for official details from the club.
Either way, whatever happens, like however we'll get to celebrate this with the fans, like, it's gonna be mint. I do think like the festival kind of town war thing would be absolutely class. Don't know, obviously, like it's just kind of been like spoke about now, but I don't know if it's gonna be like a ticketed event if you're gonna have to pay for it, because if not, then it's gonna be absolutely wild, like the town war. Like,
how are they going to organise that?
Yeah,
and not stop just every single person in Newcastle turning up?
They genuinely could,
because that is going to be an absolute nightmare.
It's going to be messy.
Northumbria Police, the council, you name it.
Yeah, tidying up,
chaos,
toilets.
It's
going to be stinking.
Yeah. Is there any pilots watching the show? Can you like get us in a helicopter so we can just float over the top,
have a look?
Can we just do that instead of
being absolutely rotten, but absolutely phenomenal at the same time?
Yeah, it will be. I don't think they should cancel the bus.
Kind of a tradition thing, isn't
it? I think they should do both. I think they should obviously take the bus to the festival, if you like, because I want to see that image of Newcastle on a double decker going through the streets. People on lampposts, Gordon and Isak on the double decker, Bruno. Yeah, I think you've got to do that, like
Bruno necking off a Bruno.
Yes, that's exactly what I want to see. Dan Byrne eating a pasty, straight to Greg's pasty guy. That's what we want to see, isn't it? I mean, that's what we want to see there. Like, you kind of get rid of the traditional stuff, but obviously, I think they're right in saying they want to really celebrate it in front of all the fans and make the most of it and have it as a big stage, a big performance, really, in front of all the people on the town were.
Yeah, whatever they do, they can't go wrong. They say the open top bus parade, it's tradition. Everyone does it. Like, it will be great. Like I said, we've done it when we lost the final in '95, in '97. Well, last one was when we won the old first division. Was it 92, 92, 93 when we done the open top bus parade with Keegan, when we won the league to get promoted to the Premier League for the first time. But like them scenes, like before our day, like we never got to experience them. But like seeing like videos back on them now, we're just thinking, oh my god, like it would just be so good.
No, it would.
But yeah, if they do both, or maybe it's just like the sort of town war thing, regardless, it'll be a good time. It'll be great. Like, I'm not really bothered what to do. Like, it's just going to be a good time for everyone.
So we a mad all day. We'll work out what we're doing for it, but of course we'll be covering it here on the channel. So stay locked in for that one, especially the viewers from around the world that can't get themselves to the town war for that one. We'll be bringing you all the mental content that's about to come. Shout out Brucey, just seeing you WhatsApp there, mate. Cheers for watching. He liked the comment about Makola there because he sent me the stuff on Makola, and he was so yeah. Well, we'll have to shout it out.
Shout out, mate.
Let's talk England keg before we get on to the women's game on Sunday, which we will be at against the Mackhams. So we know Thomas Tuchel's era starts. The German gaffer in charge of the Three Lions this Friday night. Big Dan Byrne is all we care about.
Really
so, well, and Tino and Gordon as well, but we're all looking forward to Dan Byrne's debut. Thomas Tuchel, he's came into a bit of a firing line this week. He's definitely been his own man in the sense that he's picked a 32-year-old Byrne and even more controversially, a 35-year-old Jordan Henderson.
Is that old now, right?
But what are you thinking heading into the reign of Big Tuchel?
Me. And I love watching England.
England-Albania as his first game Friday night, 7:45. And then Latvia on Monday.
I'll wait to see the starting 11 before tuning into that game. If Byrne's in it, then I'll watch it. If not, then I'll probably just do something else. I don't know. But it is like I feel like it's overhyped. Like I feel like I always it was always going to have a little shade of its own sort of negativity, its own sort of storyline. Tuchel's first squad because we're done so well in the summer. He took over from Southgate. He's young. He's had success across Europe. So I feel like it was always going to be overanalyzed. And he'd done an interview straight after the squad was announced and kind of explained his reasons why. So for as much as I would love Dan Byrne to be an England focal point for at least the next couple of years at his age, he's not going to be the rebirth. He's not going to be like our next like starter for the next 10 years or now. But he explained why Jordan Henderson was brought in, and pretty much the same reason why Dan Burn was brought in is just experience and leadership, which I think is smart. Like, as much as I don't want to see Jordan Henderson in the squad, we even Gareth Southgate started dropping like for years and years. Everyone was like, "Why is fucking Jordan Henderson still in the squads?" then he eventually like clicked on, like, yeah, Jordan Henderson probably doesn't deserve to be in these squads. But yeah, like, I think just for this first squad, he's gone with a little bit more experience and with a bit more leadership, just to kind of set the tone, I suppose. Like, bring these older, mature, experienced guys. Like, so yeah, for me, like, I unfortunately don't see Dan Burn being in many more future squads, even less for Jordan Henderson. I do think, especially for Henderson, this is a one-off.
What's the point in doing it for bloody games against Latvia and Albania?
Well, that's a good question, to be honest. I don't know. Like, but also, like, we're missing some guys, aren't we? Like, Lewis Hall would have 100% been in that squad. Like, if he was fit. I don't know who else is missing. There's a couple of more guys that probably are injured or not available.
Obviously, Gibbs White came in for Palmer as well.
Yeah, Rashford's in and all.
Rashford as well, bringing back Rashi.
I'm surprised fucking Lingard and Dele Alli aren't in and all.
Hey, Dele Alli, mate, he's got a reminder on his phone. Have you seen it? He's got a reminder on his phone for the 26th World Cup. He wants to get there.
Yeah, so I think it's just been a little bit overhyped, like, especially Jordan Henderson, and even for Dan Burn, as much as it's great for, I just want to see him get one cap now, even if he doesn't start, even if it's like in the 92nd minute he comes on as a sub in the second game, gets his one cap, and that's all he ever does for England. I'll be happy for him just to get one cap, because I don't see him being in many more future ones, unfortunately.
What an achievement for him. If he keeps up his form, I think he could have an outside chance to keep going. I don't think you call up a 32-year-old for a couple of weeks, you know. The way what's different with Tuchel is that Southgate was brought in on a long-term deal to develop the youth and build a culture and a spirit there, whereas Tuchel's literally brought in on an 18-month contract to win the World Cup. So he's looking thinking, actually, now he's Dan Burn, versatile leadership, I'll bring him in. Fuck it.
A bit of experience.
And he's thinking Rashford, you know, he's been there, done it. He's done a good run of form at Villa. I'll bring him in.
Maybe he's just testing things for now. It's his first squad.
He's got a
couple of relatively easy games, you would say, like Albania and it was Latvia. Can be tricky if you wanted it to be, but shouldn't really be. So
both at Wembley as well.
Yeah, and I think he's just testing it at the minute. Like, I don't think this is like genuinely like the squad he's going to take to America in 18 months. Like, this isn't the fucking World Cup squad. It's just Latvia. You know what I mean?
Because he's got Kyle Walker in there, and he's obviously went to AC Milan.
Walker's in there.
Got some experienced heads in there, but then a lot of youth as well, like Sir Lewis Skelly, Kwanzaa. Obviously Jude Bellingham picks himself. I liked the picture of Harry Kane and Dan Burn at the England training camp, because one of them has won a trophy. And it's Dan Burn. Obviously, Kane's probably going to win the Bundesliga, but as it stands,
one of them plays for Bayern Munich, one of them plays for Newcastle.
As it stands, Burn has more trophies than Kane, so have a bit of that.
That's mental, that.
But those games, I'll be looking forward to them anyways. I'm interested to see what Tuchel does at England, the style of play, and how Burn gets on. So I'm actually excited to watch England, because as we know, under Snoozegate, it was very, very boring. So hopefully the German makes it exciting. 3 lines. Looking forward to myself. I'm also, Keg, very much looking forward to the Mackham Sunday, Derby Day. Because you know what? I'm actually buzzing for this, because I would have missed a bit of football this weekend. It's nice to have a bit of a break after the hectic weekend at Wembley. Get your little football fix this weekend if you haven't already. Get yourselves some tickets to support the lasses at St James's Park against Sunderland. 2 p.m. kickoff this Sunday. Get yourselves there as we look to break the record. I think we're well on course to do that anyways, to be honest. Closing in on about a 30,000 attendance. Hopefully even more on the day and in the build-up in the next couple of days before the weekend. But we'll go up against Sunderland on Sunday, Keg. We'll be there. Yep. Press access. Really excited for that one. And it should be a quality weekend, shouldn't it? A great day out.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's international break. Like, one next Premier League game is 2 weeks today. We've still got another 2-week break, so it's pretty much by the time it comes around, like 2.5 weeks without any Newcastle football. So might as well get it in and watch them smash the Mackhams. So, it's looking to break a record breaking attendance. Obviously, big derby. So yeah, man, should be good. Looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to plenty of goals because, to be fair, we have been entertained at St James's Park.
Yeah,
The lasses as well. There is always plenty of goals, a couple of screamers, so it should be an interesting one, an entertaining one.
Yeah, I just get that league table up there.
Look at the league table here. Newcastle are behind Sunderland as it stands,
7th.
with 2 games in hand, though.
Oh,
Sunderland have played 16 games on 24 points. Newcastle, 23 points, 14 games. So, big game, because if we do win, we will go above them.
Yeah, that points tally now is really close. Like
So tight. So, if we win our 2 games in hand, that would take us up to 29 points, which at the minute would give you third.
Yeah.
And obviously, we need to chase down London City in second on 32 points for those promotion places, with Birmingham 35. They're running away with it a little bit.
So need to make the most of the 2 games in hand, and as well as obviously playing the team that's 1 position ahead of her right now, and obviously that being my biggest rival. So yeah, there's a lot of stakes. So it's a big game.
Watching the game at the Stadium of Light earlier in the season was brilliant, where we obviously went there and thrashed them.
Yeah.
And the away fans from the tune there did a great job, and we want to see more of the same on Sunday on our own home turf, because it's nice to have a derby day, because as we know, we haven't had one this season because Sunderland didn't get through in the cups.
Yeah, I had one last season. That went well, didn't it?
It was absolutely fantastic, but we haven't had one at home.
I know.
At home in ages. So I'm really looking forward to Sunday's game against the Mackhams. And some other news, Craig, that's came out during this podcast.
Goodness.
We'll get to see the Carabao Cup in the flesh.
Oh, at the St James's.
We will get to see the Carabao. So that's even more.
There's an incentive for you.
How was that for an incentive? You will get to see the Carabao Cup with those black and white ribbons on at St James's Park on Sunday at that game, because Newcastle United posted half an hour ago to celebrate NUFC women record-breaking crowd at St James's Park on Sunday. The Carabao Cup trophy will be making its first public appearance at the derby, lifted by club legend Bob Moncur. Love to see it. And our CEO Darren Eales. So,
seen Bobby on the way home.
Did it?
Yeah, we stopped off at Weatherby Services, and the Tune coaches were there. But I think they took the flight on, because when we were in the car on the way up, we've seen like Eddie Howe with the cup on the plane.
Yes.
So they must have flew home, but the team coaches were stopped off at Weatherby Services, and Bob Moncur was there, right?
Oh, mint. So, mate, that's even more exciting stuff.
Can we
Sunday
give a plug on tickets, because they're not much, are they?
No, they're not much at all. The tickets will get the price up for you now. And like I say, we'll
let you know. Have a look at that's lovely.
£8.
£8.
That's for adults. Obviously, a couple of quid for kids.
Yeah.
So now Sunday, there's no men's football on. There's no England game, international game. There's obviously no club football. So this weekend's
a
all
derby
about...
and a cup on display. What more could you ask for less than a tenner?
Exactly. What more could you want? Get yourselves down to St James's Park and support the lasses this Sunday. Finishing off here, Keg, on the other good news is that Lewis Miley starts for England under-19s tonight.
Nice.
Against Wales. So I'll be going home watching that one. Louis Miley there in the middle for England under-19s.
Next to Kieran Dyer.
Dibbling. Who was that? Actually, K. Dyer, number 6. Oh, brilliant stuff.
Tyler Dibbling, I like him.
Tyler Dibbling on the right wing there, number 7 for England tonight. Constantly linked with Newcastle. There we'll have it. I'm going to go on. We'll finish off on predictions, man. I'm going to go on 3-1 Newcastle on Sunday.
Oh, it's tricky with the women, you know. You need to call Uncle Jeff. Uncle Jeffrey knows the score.
Jeffrey will know. I will definitely get his predictions in the press box beforehand and get a bet on that one.
Yeah. What was the score at the stadium, like you remember?
3-0.
3-0, was it?
I think.
Yeah, it's a win, absolutely, at home. If we can beat them away, we're going to beat them at home. Record-breaking attendance. Again, 4-1.
Oh, how about Lukey wraps it up?
Oh, that'll be nice, that.
It would be nice,
little touch. Katie Barker wraps it up. What do you think of that?
There we go. It was indeed 3-0. Yes. Feels like ages ago, that game, but it was. But it was actually, to be fair, was that back in March? Bloody hell. Anyways, there we are, people. Thanks very much to everyone that has tuned in to this live podcast. And if you're listening back on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast, they are uploaded there after the live show on YouTube as well. And as always, a big thank you to Anarchy Brewery for hosting us this evening. And you can scan that QR code to get yourselves some war beer and support war flags as well. Keg, as champions, it feels sensational.
If you haven't noticed, to be fair, we haven't got any war beer at the minute because they're absolutely clean out.
Clean out. Clean
It was
out.
absolutely mental in here on Sunday. That's not a bottle of water beer left.
It might look good where we are, but in front of us there was just bar stools, beer, everything.
It's chaos in
Because
here.
they did show the game. Like, they do show the big matches. They do have events here at the tap room as well at Anarchy. And it was obviously unbelievable scenes we've heard from Sunday, and we've seen little clips on Anarchy's Instagram as well. And it does look mental, as you'd
Just scan
expect.
the QR code, get some more beer when it's back in stock.
When it's back in stock.
It currently isn't.
It currently isn't. Obviously, the final edition cans sold out, but who knows? Could they bring out another can
TBC.
to celebrate the cup? I don't know. Just a guess.
Hey,
Just an idea. Stay tuned to the podcast to find out. Cheers, everyone. Subscribe to Magpie Channel TV and enjoy yourself. Champions! Champions! Ole, ole, ole. Champions! Champions!